Today I'm going to talk about a word, then I'm going to talk about another word, then I'm going to tell a story, then I'm going to tell another story, and I'm going to end with a demonstration. Word one, blessing. Now you may have an idea in your own mind about what a blessing is because of the spiritual background that you come from. But today I'm going to give a definition from this amazing book, which I read digitally, so I just printed out the cover for you guys. It's called The Gentle Art of Blessing, a simple practice that will transform you and your world by Pierre Pradevin. An amazing book. And in it, he describes blessing as wishing from the bottom of the heart, in total sincerity, the very best for someone, their complete fulfillment and deepest happiness. Word number two. It's a Hebrew word, kavanah, and it means to pray with focus, intention, meaning. It means praying from the heart rather than praying centered solely on the mind. Story one. This is an African parable about two neighbors, Ahmed and Yusuf. And it's about blackbirds and whitebirds. So these two neighbors, Ahmed and Yusuf, both had walls. And in those walls, there were niches for birds. And the blackbirds could fit in the blackbird nests, and the whitebirds could fit in the whitebird nests. And in this story, the blackbirds represent negative, angry, hateful feelings and thoughts. And the whitebirds represent positive, happy, loving thoughts. So let's imagine one day Ahmed gets mad at Yusuf, and Ahmed sends a blackbird over to Yusuf. Now Yusuf could ignore that bird, and then what happens is the blackbird comes back to Ahmed's nest and increases the negativity and hurt and anger in Ahmed's life. But Yusuf could then also send a blackbird back, in which case the blackbird lands on Ahmed, and Ahmed has more increased negativity in his life, but then there's a space open for the blackbird to land back on Yusuf. And so then the negativity ends up hurting both of them. But what Yusuf could do is send a whitebird back, in which case either Ahmed has to let a whitebird out and accept that whitebird in his nest, in which case Ahmed and Yusuf both get a whitebird, but at the very least, the whitebird would end up not finding a nest on Ahmed and coming back and resting with Yusuf. So this story is a parable, and it's about birds, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. So I'm going to talk about a story in my own life when this kind of played out. So when I was about 24, 25 years old, I woke up one day and half my face was paralyzed. And many of you know what Bell's palsy is. When half your face is paralyzed with Bell's palsy, you can't blink, you can't open half of your mouth, you can't eat, you can't drink, you have to blink for yourself. Anyway, I was working customer service at Kinko's when this happened to me. And I was young and kind of ridiculous, and so I just didn't do anything about it. I just thought maybe this will go away. I don't know what this is. There was no internet. I couldn't figure out what it was. I just knew my face wasn't working. But I would go to do this customer service, and I'd interact with customers all day long, and I was kind of getting self-conscious and ashamed and embarrassed because of how ridiculous I must have looked. I couldn't, when I would smile, only half my face would smile. And I'd blink, but only one eye would blink. And so I was very self-conscious. So after about 2 weeks of this, I was on the phone with my brother, and we had a long conversation, but throughout this conversation, I was talking about how I didn't like the way my life was going. There were all these things I wanted in my life, and I wasn't getting any of them, and here I was just working at Kinko's, and I wasn't moving forward in my life, and nothing was happening. And at the end of the phone call, I said, oh, by the way, my face has been paralyzed for the last 2 weeks. And he laughed, and he said, well, no wonder your face is paralyzed. Your thought is paralyzed. You're so stuck in the future and stuck on what you don't have that you're not moving forward. And so I got off the phone with him and I thought a lot about that, and I had to go to work that afternoon. And what I decided to do was I was going to love and embrace every single person that came into Kinko's that night, my coworkers, everybody. And I wasn't going to be self-conscious, and I wasn't going to be thinking about myself. I was only going to be thinking about how I would bless them. So I did that. And I had the best night. And by the way, at the end of the night, my face wasn't paralyzed anymore. And after that, within a year, I had moved to another city. I was engaged. I was actually married within the year. So I see that as how love just not only, I don't know if the birds ended up landing on the customers, but I sure know they landed on me. So now a demonstration. I need a volunteer. Just anybody. Okay, come on up. So what I want everyone to do, including Ian, is I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to pray with focus, intention, and meaning on wishing from the bottom of your heart, in total sincerity, the very best for Ian. And I want you to wish his complete fulfillment and deepest happiness. Thank you. I know we could have gone on all day with that, but.
Thank you. That was
So anyway, I hope that, so all those birds landed on Ian today. I hope a lot of those come back and land on you guys. And thank you.